All right, so what is up, guys? Long time no see. I wish this wasn't the way I was going to start out my video after it being so long from giving you guys some content. But I just feel like this is something that really needs to be addressed, and this is my mature version. I may release my troll version, the funny version, just so you guys have something to laugh at. But after taking a long look at everything, this is what I want to say and the right thing to say. So without further ado, I'm going to explain everything to you, the situation that's going on, and I'm going to try to keep it brief, because otherwise I'm going to rant on for forever. That's why I have this written down, because I don't know if I have ADHD or what, but I'll get sidetracked. So, summarize, an unhappy customer. Her name is apparently my name, Emery, just spelled differently, very ironic. But she's an unhappy customer of Underground Reptiles. She claims to have a bad experience with them, received a sickly iguana. You can watch her video. I'm not going to speak on her experience too much. But anyways, long story short, writing a bad review, putting out a video, totally acceptable. You can do that. The unboxing video, perfect. That's what you should do. But what she goes and does is she has 12,000 followers on Instagram. What does she do? Order 66, commands them like an army of trolls and sends them at Underground Reptiles. So you got all these SJWs going after them, saying how they're, oh, you guys kill animals, animal abuse. And it's based off such nonsense. And she's using, I would call it propaganda because there's no good context behind it. But so supposedly videos of a monkey having a seizure at their facility, and then skunks. I didn't see the problem with the skunks. I've had great experience with Underground. Let me just get that straight with you guys. Done more than 4 orders, I believe, with them. Every time, everything's been good. Anytime anything went wrong, they satisfied me, put it that way. So, moving on. Forming a cyber army and bullying them, as well as the people who follow them. She called out Tiki's geckos and all these people for following them, because that means they support them. First of all, it doesn't mean they support them. Second of all, what is with this cancel culture? You're literally calling out the people for following them. She was making a list of the people that... It's crazy, guys. Underground Reptiles, I don't think they're a saint. Neither am I. In fact, if I'm completely honest with you guys, me, Emery, I was just like female Emery from the opposite side of the U.S. because she's from Florida. I'm from California. I was just like you, Emery, if you're watching this. I've done this to breeders, like not even pet stores, breeders. When I take a long look back at it, it's something, I didn't handle things the way I should have. And I didn't even go as far as you, honestly. But I'm going to leave the people's names out that I've already made good with them, where, if I wanted to buy another animal from them, they would gladly sell me another one because we patched things up. But anyways, like I'm saying, I've been there. Animal death sucks. And if you're going through something, you need to tell us, because at the time, I had just lost my mom. And I don't know what that had to do with me and animals, but the way I treated people, it changed significantly. And the breeder who I fucked over, once he knew what was going on, his whole attitude and how he was treating me at the time, it changed. And he helped me out, he was understanding. Underground has reached out to you, tried to patch things up, and you still continue to be what people call a Karen towards them. I get that you love animals. I think you're genuinely a good person that cares about animals. But you shouldn't think that people like us don't. I think you haven't been in the hobby as long as us, and I don't think you realize that just in keeping animals, there's going to be a lot of death and sadness involved with it. When you have lots of animals, it's inevitable. It sucks. I hate it, but there's always bad with good, otherwise there wouldn't be any good. You go to a vet behind closed doors, you're going to see stuff there, and that's my problem with the video that you posted, is it shows the monkey having a seizure. How do I even know that was at Underground Reptiles, first of all? Second of all, if that was at Underground Reptiles, that wasn't on clear display for customers. We know that. So it makes you wonder if someone is blackmailing someone for whatever good reason, someone who was able to go in their back room or something. You know, these people, you wouldn't be breeding animals if you were in it just solely for the money, because there's so many better jobs out there. These people do it because they love it. And yes, underground, you know, they're more established. They probably do make some decent profit. I worked for Triple L Reptile before too. And the people that do importations and stuff like that, yeah, they probably do make a decent more money, but they are out the mud. They're the ones that have been here for so long. And if it wasn't for them, all these captive breeders that you're standing up for and supposedly support, they wouldn't exist. They would not exist. And that is why these good captive breeders are standing up for people like them. There's very few that are chiming in and supporting this. It's mostly 16-year-olds, people with she/her, he/him in their bios. I got into an argument with people and I was called transphobic for it, but I don't see the point of this in that. I never address a stranger as a guy or a girl in the first place. Maybe I'll call someone dude, but most of the time they'll look like a dude. Like, they'll act like a dude, and I don't know. I hate the fact that this is getting into politics. This is what this is, the cancel culture. Anyways, she claims to be a rescue, but she bought this iguana, and she lives in Florida and bought the iguana shipped. Why? When Underground Reptiles is in Florida. Maybe you don't have a car, but either way, if you are shipping animals is a form of animal cruelty. And when we get on this road of cancel culture, once they take an inch, it goes a mile. And cancel culture, just because you're the person canceling doesn't mean that you can't be the next person canceled. I mean, that's just the truth of it. It starts with shipping animals. That's partly animal cruelty. And she was going on about the place where's my actual real source of income. Great job, by the way, for anyone that wants good hours, and in the warehouse isn't the best, but you'll have really good benefits without joining the military and having to go everywhere. But things happen, even besides the driver that supposedly mistreated her package. You have no idea how many moving belts and slides and things happen. So if you really want to be safe, go to the expo and buy the animal. That way you can see it in person before you buy it too. I encourage that. But it's touchy, guys, because, you know, not every experience is going to be great. And some people have had bad experiences with Underground, but look at it this way. How long have they been here? If they were really abusing and neglecting animals, you don't think PETA or some kind of organization would have exposed them by now? Do you really think they'd still be around? They've got lots of good reviews too, including from me. But yeah, the cancel culture could go on. I'm already sidetracking even though I have this written down. Next thing you know, it's the keeping them in racks versus keeping them in cages, which is more ethical, and then keeping them in captivity in general. Is it not somewhat cruel to keep animals in captivity in general? But at the same time, the argument goes that if you're against keeping animals in captivity, are you against animals? Because look at the environment that they have to live in. That's why so many animals are going extinct, deforestation and stuff like that. I believe in responsible conservation, responsible herpetoculture. And that means we got to teach a lot of these people what's going on. I used to be ignorant too. There's nothing wrong with being ignorant. Just don't choose to be stupid. This isn't beneficial to the community at all. So I hate tearing her down. But how do we solve cancel culture when she has this many followers? Just don't talk about it. Underground started deleting all of her haters' comments, and she started getting upset about it and started crying. Like, how are they supposed to defend themselves? There's not nearly as many people like me standing up for them as there are people that are hating. It's so much easier to project hate, so much easier to leave a 1-star review when you hate someone than to leave a 5-star review when you have a good transaction. Just gonna throw it in there right now. There's some Boa Man 5435 jokes in there. I don't know if any of you know who Boa Man 5435. A lot of this is not meant to be taken seriously. A lot of it was just trying to be funny. I was trolling her a little bit. It's in good fun. I private DM'd her telling her, you know, I mentioned that. Let me start over. I made harmless jokes. She slandered a business on the other hand, in contrary. Not to mention, I reached out to her, private messenger, trying to de-escalate things, but she immediately blocked me. I doubt she even read my message. But it was basically just telling her, like, hey, you know, you guys could probably see the messages. I don't know. If she wants this video taken down, I'm willing to do it, but she needs to look at how she's treating this. You don't attack people. This is not... Cancel culture does not belong in the reptile hobby. It really doesn't. And you're kind of a hypocrite for a lot of the stuff that I see going on. And long story short, the ultimate takeaway from this video, guys, there is no good in tearing apart a community that is already under attack. You've seen the U.S. ARC bans in Florida, and there's one going on right now in one of the states for venomous snakes, and that really sucks because guess what? I'm planning on moving out of the state just so I could get my venomous license. And if you guys ruin it for me before I even move, that sucks, man. I get it, maybe you keep bearded dragons and leopard geckos. Ooh, so I don't care if you guys can't keep this, but that sucks, man. That's so self-centered to ruin it for everybody else just because you disagree, you know? And if you can't take an argument, if you can't take a little bit of, I wouldn't even call it hate, but disagreement, you know, you can't just be blocking people and yet pushing so much hate. It's so hypocritical, and you call out these people for being hateful and hypocritical. You guys, I recommend watching the next video. It's longer than this one. It's 15 minutes long. You can skip through a lot of it. It's a screen recording of my Instagram story. And from there, you can get a good idea. There was more to it. This doesn't have all the context. I'm sure she'll have some of her stuff saved. Maybe she'll make a response to this. I don't know. But one thing I want to reach out about, too, is Tiki's Geckos, Underground Reptiles, the main two people that she called out. She also even tried calling out Tyler Nolan, and I don't know, supposedly she deleted and took down the list. I didn't see it, so she probably did if there was one. None of them, when they responded to her, went and tagged her or anything. Because what I see, and what they probably see as well, is this is a form of clout chasing. She's going after these people, and she wants to get mentioned. She wants to make these people look as bad as possible. Why would they... They're going to defend themselves, but they're not going to chime you in, and that's, I think, why she gets so upset. Because someone like me with like 250 followers, she's not going to get anything out of arguing with me. So, I think I'm about done ranting. I hope you guys enjoy that next video. And Emery, from my fellow Emery, I've been in your shoes, and not all males don't care about things in general, you know. That's very feminine version of, female version of incel to say. Even guys not in touch with their feminine side, you know. Feminism isn't associated with this. I'm not going to get into this, okay? But long story short, just because you're a man doesn't mean you're heartless, okay? We wouldn't be in this hobby if we were heartless and didn't like these animals to begin with. There's much better things that we could be doing with our time and life. And reptiles can be very rewarding, but they can also cost you an arm and a leg. So I've put in easily 50 times more the amount of money into their animals than I've ever gotten out. So probably more than that. That's probably not even... Yeah, I'm gonna shut up now. If you guys want to watch the next video, I'll be uploading that next separately because I know we got short attention spans. If you made it to the end of this video, really appreciate it. If you're SJW, go ahead and dislike.